Yom Rishon, on the first day, also on Yachtel, and also to put on tefillin. Okay. Mikan Ve'il, then from this day on, he would be chayav. So Abu is someone who's mourning. On the first day, it's also to put on tefillin. But from this day onward, he's chayav to put on tefillin. I feel though, pardon, but even if new faces come, and so the morning is a little more intense, still he would be able to put on the tefillin. The Yom Rishon, the first in Kirish, I feel in the Mishnah berura. I feel Yom Nekba, even the day in which he buries him, She'en of Yom Yis, which is not the day of the dust, he buried him a different day. He wouldn't put on tefillin that day. This one the Taz and the Rabbah and the double of Rabbah, Vava, Yodea, Simon, Shimpei, Ches, the Derech Chaim. Vein Hiskim, Bishari, Chuba, Simon, Masim, the Chuba, the Loka Merit, Kamritim, the Chaim, not only Ritim Chaim. Keeping true Yom Rishon at Lafilos, when Menachem, this is the first day for the people who are eating. So the Avelos and the Menachem, for the people who are fast mourning, and the people who are giving consolation. Okay, I feel in Nikbar, the way even if he sleeps, if he's buried at night. This is from the Ilya Rabbah and the Derech Chaim. The Derech Chaim, we can call Asif as cotton, and similarly sometimes cotton is from there. You shouldn't put the tefillin on in that day, next day. But if he was killed or if he died or he was buried in Kol Hamoed, and you do put on tefillin beyond Kol Hamoed, being Kol Hamoed, I guess between Kol Hamoed. A Prima Gadam is Simon Ayin Alef. In fact, because then the Prima Gadam Ayin Alef is something about this, or it goes back and forth about this. Mikomakom Yom Marhu Lo Hayom Rishon. It's a bitter day the first day. Sorry, because it's still a bitter day the first day. The Yom Marhu the first day, and therefore he shouldn't put on tefillin. So he's saying Kol Hamoed, since you can't do a veilus, you put it on Kol Hamoed. If you put them on, I guess. On at the very least, you should be careful not to make a bracha on them. Because without this, even the minhag is not to make a bracha on this tefillin on Chol Hamoed. And whether after Chol Hamoed, you also, after Yom Rishon Avelis, even though it's the first day of Avelis, and real Avelis because you didn't do Avelis on Chol Hamoed, they still, they already consoled him with consolers on the Chol Hamoed. Similar if he's buried on the second day of Yom Tov, you should put this tefillin on the day after. Yom Tov Sheni Ola Leminyan Sheva, because the second day of Yom Tov counts for the day, for 7 days, towards the 7 days of mourning, and therefore he did one day already. And the day which is after the Moed, the holiday, then it would be the second day, not the first day, and therefore you can put on tefillin. If you heard a hearing which is close, but you heard about a relative recently, which is within 30 days of the relative dying, even if it's the 30th day itself. It also has the din like the day of the burial, and therefore he wouldn't put on tefillin that day. Therefore, even if he hears it at night, shouldn't put on tefillin in the day. So even if he hears a recent news, a recent hearing, when he's already put on the tefillin, he started davening, Colton take them off. If he hears a distant news or distant hearing, which means after 30 days, it's been a while, it's not recent. Then the rule is that the mourning is only just one moment. What do I need to tefillin? This was to put on tefillin. And Bolo Ashmul be'emtza Psuke de Zimra. Therefore, if he comes to him, this news in the middle of Psuke de Zimra, Ukagam and stuff like that, Lo Yechal Tefillin, shouldn't take off the Tefillin. Rak Yechalit Menalav Misham Avelis. Just take off the shoes because of Avelis, because you have to do it for like a moment or so. Ve'im al Yedei Hashmua Ba Lidei Pechu. But if through the hearing he comes to crying, then you do have to take off the Tefillin. The Muchach Miyardeh is a proof from Yardeh Sem Peiches, Sefbeis, Seven Taf Beis, B'Shach, and Seven Taf Beis in the Shach, Sif Cotton Beis, fine. A common with Sif test. Look later on Sif test. Okay, also, it will be also to put on tefillin. The tefillin and Ikra and Pe'er, because the tefillin are called like a splendor, the pasuk and the pasuk. The avel me'ol ba'afra, and the avel is like rolled around in dirt. Or I don't know. He's got paper, not dirt, but ash. It's like all covered in ash and stuff. Sorry. Okay. And the ain't all of it the stays per air with tachazefer. It's not nice to put a splendorous thing underneath ash, which because this apple has ash on it. I guess it's like a pasuk which is telling you not to do this. Mekan veil from this on onwards, the v'achrisa kiyomar, and now it says that after this is, and after it is like the day of bitterness. What do we see? So what the point is says kiyomar, like the day of bitterness, which means the day of mourning. We learn from this that ikar marir, the main bitterness, is yom rishon, is just the first day, and therefore that day will be us. The rest of the day is fine. He'd be chayav in tefillin. Mashma the chayav miyad, mashma the chayav immediately. Yesh poskim the yom sheni ein lahaniach kol the nates, and some say that the second day you shouldn't put them on before nates. But he has to wait till nates. This is from the Yordei Semen Shin Vei Kas, and you couldn't put them on like say los. Yeah, I guess even without a bracha. Therefore, it's proper to wait from putting them on until after nates. I guess Mashiach is. But you can't wait till after nates this time. Panim Chalashish, if he comes to see new people, new people come to see him. Lanaka must also give him consolation. And mashma with the maniach lechachila, it's mashma that he could put them on lechachila even after on the next days if they're coming to console him. They say to conclude you shouldn't put on tefillin in front of them. Tefillin until they go away. This is from the Magen Avraham the Prima Gadim. But you don't take them off if you put them on before they came to the new faces. So you have to put them on when they go away, but if you already have them on, you can leave them on. The Tisha B'Av, chayav b'tefillin. On Tisha B'Av, you're chayav in tefillin. You'll find I like ham b'sim tov kufin hey. Look later on in tov kufin hey. Mishna Berura chayav b'tefillin. V'lo chomer Tisha B'Av mishai me'avelos. V'lo chomer shem Tisha B'Av mishai me'avelos. Tisha B'Av is no worse than other days of mourning, and therefore you have to put on, like not the first day, but the other days you would have to put on so to Tisha B'Av. Zayin, Chasim v'Shashvina, perish, Re'av, that means his friends, Hasamechim Mima, which are having fun, or causing him, having fun with him. V'chol b'nei Chopa, and all the people of the Chopa, B'turim Misham, the Shkiach Shekos, they would be potter from putting on tefillin because it's common to be drunk. The Kalas Rosh and lightheartedness. V'chol b'nei Chopa, and all the people of the Chopa, V'dafka Makom HaChopa, it's only in the place where the Chopa is. The Sham Shkiach Shekos, the Kalas Rosh, there it's common to have being drunk and the lightheartedness. So that place they don't put on tefillin. I guess when they're putting it on the whole day, they wouldn't do it that time. This one lachem kamudos. They be potter, but Chuvas Ramah and Chuvas Ramah similar koflam and beis kasav da'idna the she'afa chasen chayav the kriyas shema. Nowadays even the chasen is really chayav in kriyas shema, the tefillah and davening. And it's when the kmo shekasav b'seminayin, as we're going to say in seminayin. Memela chayav and a chasen chol b'nei achopa gam b'tefillin. Automatically the chasen and all the people of the chopa are also going to be chayav in tefillin. Ayin shamak there. Look at the Magen Avraham, Bedino, he goes back and forth about this din. And Mitzvah of soap because Shulchan Aruch, and he decides to pass like the Shulchan Aruch, the Beturim and Tefillin, the Ace Mishra, that they're part of Tefillin at the time of the party. V'gam the Indian Tefillin also goes to daven. Hameko was that Kedas Rashi. One is making davening. One is making like the Das of Rashi, Benyan of Rashi, the Stor Be'ez Mishra to say Pater during the time of the party. Lo Hifsid, he wouldn't lose out. Im Chasen's Meis of Eslam, if the Chasen is sitting by them and they don't want to daven, then it's fine. The Azavi Mitzvah Das Rashi, then it's a mitzvah according to Rashi. Avmedivri Agra, because you're sitting with the Chasen, you're doing a mitzvah, you're Pater from davening. From the word, but from the grove, bever mashra she'en lahakol leinian tefillah. He says mashra can't be made, don't be made in regards to davening. Commercial cause of the base Yosef, which says the base Yosef Semin Reish Lamed base. But I bowl is Talmud. Look at all this Talmud of a Birkei Yosef and then the Birkei Yosef. Shekazam shekosvu the nispashin and minuk karama. The minuk is like the Rama. Shechasan v'chol mesiyato, that the chasan and all the people helping him carrying and maniach and tefillin. They read Shema and they put on tefillin. Mispalim v'yom rishon ad yom shvi. And they daven from the first day until the seventh day. So this is the Rama's minhag. They do read Shema, they do put on tefillin, and they daven from day 1, I guess past day 1, until day 7. I don't know if it's past included. Okay, Ches. Close to tefillin and mezuzah. People who write mezuzah tefillin and mezuzahs. Him v'sagareim, them and their merchants. V'sagarei sagareim, and the merchants of the merchants. Okay. V'kol oskim b'malach ha'shamayim, and everyone who's dealing with the work of heaven. Return, they're pater from putting on from me'an ha'chasam, me'an tefillin, they're pater from putting on tefillin. Kol yom, the entire day. Zulas b'shas kriyashma tefillin, except for the time of kriyashma and tefillah, and for davening, they could just not wear tefillin because they're doing a mitzvah. V'im hayu tzrichim le'asos, and if they would need malachim b'shas kriyashma, they need to do their work during kriyashma, tefillah, and davening. Okay. So then, what do? Az b'ter mikriyashma, they be pater from kriyashma and tefillah, and davening with tefillin and from tefillin. V'chol osi b'mitzvah pater and a mitzvah, anyone who deals with the mitzvah is pater from mitzvah acheres. And if he has to work after the other one, so he's dealing with one mitzvah, he's part of the next one. But if he's able to do both of them as one, like once, I could do both below Torah without trouble. Yasa Shteim, he should do both of them. This is from the Hagos Shri and the Shema Berura and the Ran and Perek Yashim. And Mishnah Berurah says, even though they're getting money from this, or they're getting profit from this, specifically if their main intent is in order to have them, the ability for them to make them shown to be sold, then we should sell them to someone who needs them. But if their main intent is only just to get profit, it's not called dealing with a mitzvah. This is from the Magen Avraham. And the merchants of the merchants, Hakonim min Hakonim, the acquirers from the acquirers, to sell them slowly, These there's wholesalers, other people, those kind of stuff. And Konshin is Tamila Alo Kona, for example, it happened to him a Kona she wrote to the Knos Sefer Tarmazuz that wants to buy a Sefer Tarmazuz. A Kona wrote to the Lifroish Piyam. The person acquires it wants to go overseas. Ovishayar wants to go on a wagon. Asha, right now. V'iyaf Shalo Laham Tinach Shasofer or Tagar Yakayim Mitzvah Achas, and it's impossible for him to wait until the sofer or the merchant does one mitzvah. Shabal the other which came to his hand, could go into Nachas, for example, putting on its tefillin, or Kriyash Shema, or saying Kriyash Shema, within Shakal mitzvahs, or similarly any other mitzvah. Okay, and therefore, mutter left over them, it's mutter to write it and to sell it was that to this person, Afal Pisha Ali Deza Yabor Zaman Mitzvah, even though through this it will pass over the mitzvah of Ayin Berlacha Lik Berlacha. Okay. That was from the Lavush. Okay, also down. Not the Berlacha. As Pater, the Pater. Amari Shekavar Hiskul Lichtov Kodim Shegia Zman the Kriyash B'Tag, where he started the writing doing the first mitzvah of writing this guy's tefillin before this Kriyash Shema came. Abu Mishagia Zman, but if once the time for Kriyash has already come, also the Haskell Lichtov does for him to start writing, and what should cause the Semanayim Beis Base, saying Semanayim Beis Base. King Kosav Magan Ramas and the Magan Ram says. Achain, Fibashi Tzayarnim Betchila, according to what we however, according to what we made the picture earlier, made the case earlier, B'Shem HaLavush and name of Lavush, Akon Tzarech La'avar, that the Libiyam, that the person acquiring it needs to go overseas, Obashar on a wagon, B'Yavshul Lahamton Ad Sofer Yikayim Kriyashman, it's impossible for him to wait until the Sofer is going to do Kriyashma Tefillah, Pasha de Likuliyam and Mutter Sofer Laxus Malachto. It's Pasha that the Sofer is able to do his Malacha for him so the guy can have tefillin. Assuming it will, he evaluates that he should have enough time to read Kriya Shema. And if it's possible for him to read one parsha before, then he should do that. But this guy needs to go. The kol osik with anyone who deals with a mitzvah is part from another mitzvah. But after osik mitzvah, specifically if he's dealing with a mitzvah, for example, the time when he's wearing the tefillin, or osik b'zakuni avedo, or he's dealing with the fixing of the lost object, or going the shachta, for example, to chef the animal, the tzarka for his needs, ola shiva labala, to return it to its owner, and all stuff like this. But in the time when he's fulfilling the mitzvah, he's just already wearing the tefillin, he's not working for it. Oh, Shomer Aveda, or he is already guarding the Aveda, it's already actively being guarded. Shimonachas Kavar, but they've also, it's already resting in its box. And all stuff like this. Even though he's fulfilling a mitzvah, and then also mitzvah, he's not dealing with the mitzvah right now. But one mitzvah, he wouldn't be part of a different mitzvah. Al-Yideza through this. Which we explained more. What does it mean to say? Even through this, it wouldn't get rid of the first mitzvah. Even the second mitzvah is even greater. Since you've already started dealing with the first one. This is from the Orzura and the third Vav. So even if it wouldn't bottle the first one, and the second one is I don't know if the second one's going to go, but he's doing the first one, do the first one. Doesn't matter if you have time to do it later. Lamed Ches, Kos V'Svarim Tefillin is this one of the people who write Tefillin is this in the Berlach on the page before. Kain Torah Lam is what it means to say. This is how it's supposed to be wrote. What do we have? Oh, so he has the word Svarim. Haki Yisrael Gemara B'Chol Rishonim. This is what it's in the Gemara and all the Rishonim. But there's also could be Svarim too. It's also. Hey, B'Tagreim, them and their merchants. I'm Mishna Berura, look at the Mishna Berura, Mashik Sadan, B'Shem Magen Avram. We said what we wrote in the name of the Magen Avram. And yes, in my humble opinion, Tzarech Yem B'Vav Mitzvah. There's a question about Mitzvah Daf Pei Beis Amid Beis on Daf Beis Beis. Okay. Marsa Mitzvah covered of the man master says he's doing a mitzvah, the Shlomo that he lent him. Marsa La Mitzvah covered, he says he's not doing a mitzvah. Shlomo not the man covered because he's intending to do it for his own enough and not for the mitzvah. So when he lends someone, is he doing a mitzvah or not? But I'm Rashi, look at Rashi Sham, Divrei Maskal, the Malva, when Divrei Maskal Malva Starach. Even still, there's a mitzvah. This is the end of his language. He's still doing a mitzvah, but even if he doesn't intend. However, the Sirle, the Rabbi Akiva, behold, we see that Rabbi Akiva holds the halacha composer, which the halacha is like him, the feel hechashu mechavin and also even in a case where he has intent for his own hana, gam came a mitzvah, still also called most dealing with the mitzvah. Patur milamesa fifta, onion is patur from giving bread to the poor person because he's doing a mitzvah. But through this he would be, and that through this he becomes a shomer sacha because he's dealing with the mitzvah even if it's for his own hana. Okay. The Gemara. However, perhaps the Gemara attempts in the Gemara is Mar Savar Mitzvah Kavod Shelvo. One told they did a mitzvah that he lent him would be, and so I mean the question is how come you have to have over here intent? Over there you didn't need intent and said you're doing a mitzvah, therefore it should be potter. So it could be when the Gemara says you're doing a mitzvah kavod, show that he lent him. Assumably he's intending about this l'kayim mitzvahs or to fulfill the mitzvah of his creator. And also has intent for his own hanas. Rabbi Lezer Savar, and Rabbi Lezer says and he only has intent for his own hanas. Okay, Rashi, similar to what Rashi explains in Pesachim Daf Ches Amud Beis. Behold, this is a side If he has intent for himself and for the other thing, that will be fine. And for the mitzvah is fine. Mechavin af and he's intending after. So the one opinion holds both, one opinion holds just one. Just his own. So therefore it doesn't part of the mitzvah. But the opinion holds it does, part of the mitzvah, it's still only need intent for the mitzvah. Alef Dibar Maskal Kaigan. I shall look there. But if we know his intent is just to gain money, low mikri also mitzvah, it's not called dealing with the mitzvah. Still it appears to me the imikavanat l'shteim is temporary for both of them b'shava, but equally. Mikri also b'mitzvah. It's all called dealing with the mitzvah. Kinyan mash pasuk hadiyah l'rabbi. What it says, passing the rabbi sim tafei test sifkat and ches. The imtaka b'shofar, if he blows the shofar l'islam to learn, the gam would say for the mitzvah and also to fulfill the mitzvah, yasa yidei chuvas to fulfill its obligation. The dawa would you should know further. The inyan kasiva sefer Torah mitzvahs in regards to writing sefer Torah mitzvahs for themselves. K'moshe matzoi. Like it's found, Shakosif Kavanasa Lishtaka, that his intent is to just gain a lot of money. Mistap, I have a suffix to say that people Haki Mikri Bechal Mitzvah, still it's called dealing with the mitzvah. After Lechora Hu Hainu Hach, even though it's Lechora, it's the same thing. And he just has intent to get money. The Magen Avram Shehevi in Perish Rashi, because the Magen Avram which brings from Perish Rashi near Saiti Lachalik. And so it's even though Abdul Hor who kind of after the Magen Avram Shehevi in Perish Rashi, just like the same thing as the Magen Avram from Perish Rashi. Near Saiti Lachalik, I think there is in my humble opinion make a chilik. After days Yipol and Meila Gamkein Akoshi Alam Shalom Magen Avram, even though it's through this you'll automatically lose the question of the Magen Avram. And this chilik is Dilini Kasiva Skupa. In regards to writing itself, that is for sure is a main mitzvah itself. And because if as the pasuk says, hey, you shall write them. Yeah, write them. Rak the eno gemar mitzvah, which is not the end of the mitzvah. Kodem ekshir before tying them on. The mucha of menachos is clear menachos. So there's two parts of the mitzvah: write them and put them on. You haven't finished it until you put it on, but writing is part of it. And based on base, who tambid bechlal ozig mitzvah is constantly in the dealing with the mitzvah. Even if we know his intent, his main beginning was to write was only because of the payment. And without this, he wouldn't begin. That he's writing, he's not intending anything. He's just writing. They just intended writing in stam for the sake of the mitzvah of tefillin, like the din is supposed to do, because this is why he got right tefillin. Mashapir Rashi, when Rashi says Lochin Kidei Lamtian, those who buy them in order to have them available, and this is his whole intent, is to make tefillin more available to people. Halarak al the Tagrian Pirish, this is only on the merchants that he explained this, but not on the people who are writing it. The Kavan also, and his intent is the Sham Halo Hamislar Binyani Tefillin. There isn't the sailing for the merchant. I guess the merchandise of in regards to tefillin, a topic for tefillin, lo nizkar b'shum makom the mitzvah. It's not mentioned in any place in the mitzvah. Writing is a mitzvah. Selling tefillin is not really a mitzvah unless you want to make more tefillin more available. But if you're going to say the masha who bocher le'ez adam, this be sells to a certain person that tzarach tefillin, which needs tefillin, who b'chlalos, the mitzvah is called dealing with the mitzvah. Akaponim v'shashu kona tefillin is still at the time when he's buying the tefillin. We may have sofa from the sofa gedei l'schol behem in order to go do sales with them. Ain't sham le'ez atad isn't there right at that point. Etzem pulas mitzvah, the main point, the essence of an act of a mitzvah. Call it all. With that action itself of buying it. The Gemara Paz is never cases when time of buying. Therefore Rashi explains that one is buying them in order to make them more available, to be sold. The Misha Sarklam to someone who needs them, wrote Salom and he means to say the Oz al so then through his thought, True that it's for the sake of a mitzvah, plus mitzvah considers his action as if it's dealing with a mitzvah. Which is not true by the topics of returning the Aveda, and stuff like, and the writing of Sefer Torah Mezuzah and stuff like this, which are automatically a mitzvah. The action itself is included in dealing with the mitzvah. That's in the pasuk. You're doing it. Doesn't matter. You're intending just I want to do the mitzvah. You're not intending, even though your real intent is for the money, or whatever, but still you're intending to do the mitzvah. If you would need to do the mitzvah, you would do the other thing. You would be bottled from the first mitzvah, or you wouldn't be able to do it. Okay, meaning if there was the time of Kriyash Mantil, you wouldn't be able to do the Kriyash Mantil at that point. I'm very some looking at some of the Magna very grand, very rush, and fun of the fun. That's my all the opinions in Ra is the Nipso Talmud done to pass on the guy, Talmud looking for Shaman, not looking for Shaman. Okay, in part to Raf make Kriyashma with feeling goof, and they part even from Kriyashma until itself, and davening itself. Loka Keha Machaber, not like the Machaber the day. Hold on the Chayav Kriyashma with Tefillah. And according to him, in every case, you'd be Chayav in Kriyashma and Tefillah. Umash from the Osam and the Magen Avram Dalach Verman. Umash from the Osam and the Ramah. And the Magen Avram Dalach is like your mind, you potter from David. So this is only the Ramah. I missed that. But the Mechaber would be arguing. I'm saying you can't get out of Kriyash Matil. Jews and Lasses Ma'achton, they have to do their work at that point. I'm Mishnah Berura. Look at the Mishnah Berura. The Sivkan L'Chafaz, the taxes that we copied over, may Lavosh, the Dina from the Lavosh for the law. Okay. And similarly, Mash for the words which need, Shikasa Mother Ramah wrote. Akasha, which is the case, is the guy's got to go. Akasha, however, there's a question. If even the doubts and Ramahs who issued this around, since the opinion of the Ramahs is from the opinion of the Ramah, of the Ran, promotion for sign afterwards, he self-concludes, Ula Ran Potter, the whole government, according to his Potter, in every case, in Kavar his school of club, he started writing, Moshe Mukha, the Beis Yosef, is there in the Beis Yosef. Okay, so therefore, why is it? So why does it have to be the guy's lead? Moshe goes to Beis Yosef. Ula the Absalom, perhaps it's possible to say, the B'chai Gam the Echad wrote to the first Yom. In this kind of case, where one guy wants to go overseas, yeah. Ola Shiari wants to go on a wagon. Jasham lo Yasi tefillin kamiyam. Then he won't find tefillin for many days. Mutter afilu lechatila haskell. We mutter even lechatila to start writing. Lift up. Afilu archa shegias man kriyashma even after the time of reaching tefillin. But afilu kriyashma. Okay. Afilu im ayidei ze yabers man even through this shall lose the past time. When we come up Loni here, I still don't think this is right. Okay. Even if through this will pass the time of creation, you still can. Okay, here still it doesn't seem right. The Lama Yochai, the Haknas asking, why should he be obligated to put himself the house there for this guy the hospital lift up to start writing? Oh, Limkor to start selling Leosal of shame Osi for mitzvah to have on him the din of dealing with the mitzvah of Masalik Miatzbal Yedez and to remove from himself through this the mitzvah Aseh Kriyashma, the mitzvah the Aseh of doing Kriyash of reading Kriyashma, Tefillah and davening, Kedom and stuff like that. I'm reading the Chato, do we say the person sin? And so there should and so that he shouldn't, this other guy shouldn't sin. Okay, but Torah needs in. Magen Avraham, also from the words of Magen Avraham, so Sifkat Niyad at the end of Sifkat Niyad, Shekat the Kola, the Kol Zemairi, and all this is dealing with low mashma against non mashma that he would be patur after if he could actually start actively doing this new mitzvah, get rid of his Kriyashma feeling. Behave. Shlomo, however, there is to say the hula Iri B'Kaigam the Luash. We could say that the Magen Avraham wasn't talking in the case of this Luash where the guy's going away. Without the words of the Vash, it was possible the Lama to say the Kavanas from I want attentively or ma when he says that they need them, and why did he say need? You just said you happen to whoever wants them. What's the Lama mean to say the Sofer Meshayar Sheyavo Yom Liado Konim Harbi? The Sofer is evaluating and it's going to come to him today. A lot of people who are going to buy them. Therefore he gets up early and um, wakes himself up to do this. Without this, assumably the sofer is not going to do this constantly right day and night. He's not going to have any time for any mitzvah. That's just a weird thing to do. Why would you spend your entire day writing? It's not a good business. You should say, I'm going to write, I'm going to do stuff, and I'm going to work. You don't say, I'm going to work all day and night. But after Kabbalah, Malchus Shemaim, the tefillin, even for accepting the yoke of heaven and davening and putting on tefillin, became Mashra of Yom. So this is a special case because people need them and you have to get working all day. It's just otherwise, why would you be working all day? It's just very weird. Oz V'turim. So then you'd be patur from Kriyashma and tefillin if it's that time that you're dealing with the mitzvah. We're looking at Mishnah Rav Masha Gasan, the Mishnah Magen Avraham, which said the name of Magen Avraham, but the other, even if he started with Isser and he shouldn't have done it, but he did. He started writing. So I have to give him still doesn't have to make a break, and he could continue. Then we come back to Harry also commits still with the mitzvah that Isser Shama says there, Besim and Ein Beis. The Im Hiskol as the Tziyam Im Mafsika, and if he started to take them out, so we don't make a break. And we don't stop him. So I'm not sure what Hotzio means, but the point is we don't. He's still also in mitzvah and it still counts. He puts in the other mitzvah. Afilu achasher gives man kriyashma even after it reaches the time of kriyashma, you'd still be patur. The commercial class between mekandish some as it says the brief understand. The kol osik anyone who's dealing with the mitzvah. I'm sukkah the shluchim mitzvah could go and shaholach lahakbop in rabo and look at the sukkah and kafov that the shluchim is someone who's sent to do a mitzvah. For example, someone who goes to accept the face of his rabbi. Olif those shvuim or to ransom captives. Who gam came b'chalal also from mitzvah upater mikol mitzvahs. Is also included pater in dealing with the mitzvah and pater from all mitzvahs. Im tzarach l'torach if he needs to. Im tzarach l'torach. I'm mission bro. Look at mission bro. Can God the Ran. And similarly wrote the Ran. But after the Tosfos or Rashi, even though Tosfos Rashi and Rabbi and Rucham Machmir Mitzar Machmir about this. If he has to deal with it, then he's puts in the other one. Nikomaka Mashma Beis Yosef still it's Mashma Beis Yosef. Ramav the Maskima the Halacha the Ran they mask him to the Halacha like the Ran. That goes to Shri and that goes to Shri B'Shem words as well. And they Harayos Hatsumos because of the great Raya Shavinu Shavil Liza, which were brought to this. V'chein Amagan Avram the Hadiyav B'Shem Harav Amagin Amagid. It brings the name of the Rav Amagid. Sharambam Vagonim Gamkin Sovim the Potter Afilu B'Yachol L'Kayim Shtem. The Rambam and the Gonim also hold that he's Potter even if he's able to fill both of them. The Talmud of and the reason why you'd be Potter for everything is because of around the round right. The Fisher Kolo Osik V'Melachto Shalmakom. Anyone who's dealing with the so even if he's able to fill both of them. So the reason for the matter is Kosver on the round says the Fishakola Osik B'Mish Osik B'Nafta. Anyone who's dealing with the mouth the Shamakum, the work of Hashem, Lo Chayav to Torah L'Tzvach. He doesn't in the Torah didn't obligate him to trouble himself with the kind mitzvah to do other mitzvahs while he's doing it. Even if it's possible for him, he still doesn't have to. L'Kach HaMisham Be'Samei. Therefore, someone who's guarding a dead body, Patim Mitzvillin, and the Kriyashma may be Patim from Tefillin and Kriyashma. Mikol mitzvahs and from all the mitzvahs. After Yakul Az the Kaim Kam mitzvah, even though then he would be able to film a bunch of mitzvahs. Feinach over Kever, similarly someone who's digging a grave. Lameis for a dead body. Pater Mikul, Pater from everything. After Shenach Ma'at, even though he took a little rest. Shigam B'Shas Noko Nikra Dain Osik mitzvah. Even the time when he's resting, he's still called dealing with mitzvah because he needs to take a break and get back to it. Shal Yedezi Yiskaz the Koko, this really will increase his strength. Okay, l'chapor to go back and to dig. L'chein who pater az afal pisha yachal az l'seis fruti. Then he'd be pater even if he's able at that point to give a fruit. Allah niha omeit esel to the honor standing by him. Okay, aval mishul lavish film. But someone who's already wearing the film, afal pisha mekayim mitzvah, even though he's doing a mitzvah, enu nikra osik mitzvah. That's not called dealing with. It's not called dealing with a mitzvah. The pater me call the mitzvahs then say to that the pater mal mitzvahs. Alef shalov shon except in the time when you're actually putting them on. I will love the after but not afterwards. Okay, then you misham rabbeinu some regards to guarding the Veda, come much except the Mishnah verse and the Mishnah verse you have to actually actively doing it, not just having it passively going. Kozum is blur. All this is clear. Around from the mid around there is a row. Masha Kosav Ramah. Avol im, but this Ramah says avol im, below Torah without any troubles. Also, it means to say, Sheina most of Tircha Klal Bishvil Mitzvah L'Shni. It doesn't do any extra work because of the second mitzvah. El Torah Acher L'Shneim, it's one trouble for both of them. Uchedaku Mitzvah Shona Yachol L'Tzeis Yidei Shneim, and with the same way he's doing one of them, he could do both of them. Az Vivan the Yir L'Tzeis Yidei Shneim. Then for sure he has to see to do both of them. D'mei Yom Tov Al Yikira. So when you could be good, don't be called bad. King goes around Shamsim the Ran says if there's one way to do a mitzvah and one way to not do and one to do two mitzvahs, do the two mitzvahs. It's just as easy. Amayaraya Shehevi Shaman from the proof that brings the Alzam and Gemara from the Gemara the Master the Chiyuvu who is not mitzadadin, that's an obligation from the law. Yilav Hachu Lo Mekshe Gemara Sham My Midi Bank. So over there it has Gemara. If it wouldn't be so then there's no question in the Gemara over there and it needs that. Okay. Test says Mitzvah Umisha ain't died to Shabbos. Someone who's in pain or his mind is not resting or not settled. Allah v'nachona or improper is pater from tefillin. Neshu asher asila tiach lights of him because also to move his mind from them and it's impossible for him to move his mind is in so much pain. Even because of the cold, he's freezing. I'm a summer and look, I'm saying next year, so he can't concentrate on the tefillin. He's just freezing. He doesn't have to put them on. This is from the Magen Avraham. She'in daitim Yosef. We're talking about it's impossible for him to have a settled mind. This is from the Bach and the Magen Avraham and the Gra and the Shachon the Chonim to look prima god, not like prima godem. But if it's possible for him, then he's obligated to settle his mind and to put them on. Hakor b'Torah pater mehanachos tefillin. And one reads from the Torah is pater from putting on tefillin. Kol yom the whole day. Zulas b'shas Kriya Shema. Tefillah excited in the time of Kriya Shema and davening. Okay. After the dafka b'Torah shebeksav, it's possible. It's only by the specifically by Torah shebeksav. So if he's reading the Torah, he'd be pater. Separate Kriya Shema tefillin. I mean, that could be also the Machaber point, his opinion. You never pater on this. Pater. After the dafka b'Torah shebeksav is specific. It's possible. It's only specifically the Torah which are of writing. And Gas Magen Avraham. This is what the Magen Avraham says. The world doesn't have the minute to make a difference between this. Gam v'Agra Mashra. Those who the chilek doesn't hold the chilek. Elamisha the Torah and also pater b'Kol Gam. The one who's the Torah is his work is pater in all cases. Okay, without showing the Shabbat, I have a little bit of Gemara. Not someone who's dealing with the Gemara would be pater from all the mitzvahs. The Torah Yesh Lomer Shiv Atmos. That you could say the Torah itself. There is to say that itself is a sign. Shniskar by Yitzias Mitzrayim. They mentioned in it the going out of Mitzrayim, and therefore you don't have to do tefillin. It's more than just pater ozim and pater min mitzvah, because you're also doing something. You're doing an os, and that's what tefillin is supposed to accomplish. So you're pater because you have your own os. So we pater wrote to machine you wouldn't have to stop his learning to learn from not on tefillin. Avokodim was that before this chayev he would be chayev to put on the tefillin before he starts learning. This one came over me and Shamas Moon and there. Gambe Emsay wrote to the circle and Anicham also in the middle if he wants to to make a break and put them on. Gam came which I also has permission to do this. It's from the Gra. Yochel Baruch when you could make a bracha on them. It's from the base Yosef. Shafi Shapat the middle half because really he's positive from make a break because of them. Mikomakum Kivan Sharotel absent since he wants to make a break, then he will from his learning. Harry Chayav Betul now he's Chayav in Tul because he wants to make a break. He wants to make a break so he can do the mitzvah, but he made a break. Harry Chayav Betul and Miyad may have immediately when he makes a break. Menichum Mehanach Tefillin, he positive from putting on Tefillin. Apagav Shemachlei with a half significant the Talmud Torah Kedei the time Tefillin mitzvah Sheikh Yuvan Allah. Even though he's obligated to stop from Talmud Torah in order to fill whatever mitzvah which is a chayav on him. He needs to be Yardei Seven Reish Mevav. As it says in Yardei Seven Reish Mevav, Shani mitzvah tefillin sheikr to alta hu the Torah. The different the mitzvah tefillin's main purpose is for Torah. This is from the Gra. So it's the pasuk says the zikrum bein nachan a remembrance between your eyes. So Lamantia Torah Hashem people learn that the word of Hashem should be in your mouth. Alkain. Mekivan shekavar osuk b'Torah, since he's already dealing with Torah Mikodem. Before this, ain't tzarach l'vatul with Torah b'shul. You don't have to be mevatul Torah in order to do this mitzvah because it's just to get Torah. Zulus v'shas Kriya Shema tefillah, except for the time of Kriya Shema and tefillah, the Kabbalah of Malchus Shemaim, in order they should be able to fulfill the yoke of heaven. V'gam she'oz adayin eino osuk b'Torah, and also that then he's not really dealing with Torah u'merchoyev liyos alav tefillah, and it's obligated to then have on him tefillah because he's going to stop for Kriya Shema and tefillah. So now, when you stop, you're not doing a mitzvah. So you have to put on tefillin. Because you're going to have to do Kriya Shema and tefillin. You have to stop. Once you stop, put on tefillin and say Kriya Shema and tefillin. The Pasuk Bevir and the Gemara Pasuk in his explanation is Dafka Misha Torah and also that only someone who's the Torah is work. They go and Reb Shimon by Yechai, simple Shimon Yechai, Bakavir and his friends. Avom. They go on like us. 3.5 after the tefillin. We have tefillin. We have to make a break even for tefillin. It's put on tefillin, even if you're learning. The Shulchan says, "Lo yachal tefillin b'fnei Rabbi." Shouldn't take off his tefillin in front of his Rabbi. Eli if you find on the side, Achor should turn to one side. Name also because of the fear of his Rabbi. V'yachal tzushalot the front of him, take him off and not in front of him. If nei Rabbo, okay. Haini Rabbi Muvha because his like his best the one he's attached to. The rope who kakmazel him that the majority of his wisdom comes from him. Can't take it off in front of him. His name must because of the fear of him. Rotzalamer, the Dilzulzul, Shemegala, Rosh Shafan. If it's a Dilzul, it's degrading that he reveals his head in front of him. This is from the Taz. Lefiza, Afilim, Kavar, Chol, Trabot, Tkila, even if according to this, even if the Rabbi has already taken off his tefillin, he would still be asked to take it off in front of him. This is from after Batur Mako, was even though Batur is Mako. About this, Kavar Kosovo Beis Yosef, Lamaisa Nachon Lakush Lahachmud, and Maisa it's proper to be concerned to be Machmir. The Imata Atma Katas the side after, if he turns himself a little bit to one side, Vizarim Legalis Rosh Raponov, and he's careful from revealing his head in front of him, Yura Diesh Lahakam Gavni appears that you could be Mako in every case. King Gasim Prima Ganim, this is what the Prima Ganim says. Ein Sham Ode, look over there further. The Mashmi knows implies from there, the Im Kolson Samach Le Chashek, if he takes them off close to darkness, close to night, Yesh Lahachim B'chol Gadim, you should be Machmer in all cases. Milachal also some Kodim Shechalat Rabbi. You should be taking them off before the Rabbi takes it off his tefillin. The nearest Shemar Halacha with Nirabel, then it appears that he's showing how he's citing a rule in front of his Rabbi. Shegi is man of the chutz has come the time to take them off, and therefore he shouldn't take them off. But if he turns his head and the Rebbe's already taken them off, he could be Mako. Find the el look early b'simin of the sif cotton and chas mashke samnu sham b'shem. Look earlier sim cafe sif cotton and chas. We wrote there the name of the prima kadim. Okay. One last pair of halacha. Akor b'tor part one of each b'tor and pasher. I'm mishna sif cotton yelam. Give a look at mishna sif cotton on the gimel. The kodem l'zeh chayev. That before this he starts learning, he would be chayev. Can you see berura from the berura? All the minog and the hakabazev, and the world has the minog to be make about this. Okay. After the time, and the reason it's possible the reason is why they're mako. Some can al had the siman lam above sif base, and they rely on siman lam zayin sif base. Find mashu kasavti sham beberalacha. Look what we said there in the beralacha. Find all beberura. Look further in the berura. Then beragra. Shemevi. Shemashma devar, which implies in this word, Shafilu Ladas Shulchan Aruch, even according to the Shulchan Aruch, the Machalik, then in Terasa Manasa doesn't make a difference between whether the Torah is woman or not, because in every case you'd be potter. Lo Makalina and Rakla Indian Sha'in Sarach Lifsok Min Buddha, but only make in regards to you don't have to stop from his learning today, Lan Yecham to put them on. Aval Im Kavar Allah, but if you're already on him, Shalav Shem the Kriyashma, they put them on for Kriyashma Tefillah, Al Kodem Shehiska Lumar, before he started learning. Then he has to have them on even the time of learning. Well, you saw them to not take them off in the middle of it. The Duma the pasuk on Laga Besif Hakodim, similar to what the God said in Laga in the Sif earlier. Whenever it's without trouble, you're able to do both of them. You have to do both of them. So some people want to make it even before, and they're relying on Sibon Lamed Zayin Sif base. And the berura is saying that even according to Shulchan Aruch, you don't make a difference if it's your job or not, and you could still use this hat there of not putting on tefillin. It's only when you don't have them on already. If you have them on already, leave them on.